Welcome to What's Coming to Blackboard, a roadmap of the new user experience for Learn and Collaborate. Today's presenter is Mark Strassman. Mike Strassman is the Senior Vice President of Industry and Product Management at Blackboard, where he oversees the company's product and integrated portfolio strategy to ensure Blackboard continues to build solutions that delight institutions, administrators, educators, and students. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Mark.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the great collab introduction in the beginning as well. Thank you all for your time. I am going to talk a little bit about where our roadmaps are going, what's informed our roadmaps, and then give you a deeper look at some of the products that have recently come out and that will be coming out soon. As a little more of an introduction, although I appreciate your introduction previously, my name is Mark. I have been at Blackboard just under 2 years. And when I came into Blackboard, going through a lot of changes. Many people asked me when I first started at Blackboard what the culture was like, and I said there are actually many different cultures. We have all these different products, a lot of which were developed separately and will run as separate businesses. They all have their own product roadmaps. They all had their own development teams. A lot of them had their own kind of sales and support teams, creating a rough experience for our users as they tried to buy and use these products together. So what we did about a year and a half ago was bring together all of our product development, our product engineering, our product management to create integrated workflows and integrated solutions. So instead of looking at disparate products with different experiences, bringing them all together. So that's a little bit what I'm going to talk to you about today. Have 20 or so slides that I'm going to go through, just showing you how we got to the roadmap and some kind of pictures of where we're going. And then I'm going to go into a demo of the new interface on Learn. I'll be stopping between the different sections to ask questions or to see if you have any questions. But feel free to chat questions along the way, and I'm happy to stop and discuss those. So this is really a roadmap of our new user experience and then what's coming out in our product. I have to show this slide from the lawyers saying we're going to be showing you a lot of new things here. We're not promising they're going to come out, but everything I'm showing you is well under development. So I'm hopeful. So over this new year, I mentioned over 2014 went through a lot of different changes. Instead of a bunch of products that are developed and delivered separately, we have an entirely new structure, a new operating focus, and are coming out with a lot of new solutions. So really see Blackboard as a new company. And we refer internally to all these new products we're coming out with as the face of the new Blackboard, which I'm very excited about. So before we started making all these changes, about 2 years ago, we kicked off a process internally that all these different product groups were creating their separate products, and they were all talking to users, which was good. But we wanted to make sure we were aiming for the future of education, not just for features that customers and users wanted last year. So we kicked off an internal project we call Education 2020. We talked to a lot of institutions, we talked to teachers, we talked to learners, we talked to analysts in the space, we talked to a lot of our own internal experts, really to identify the main trends that we thought would be affecting education in the year 2020 so that we could build a product not for yesterday, but for the future. And we really identified 6 main trends. Education is truly global. It's not just people attending local 4-year institutions in in North America, but really it's global in terms of institutions, in terms of learners, in terms of teachers. Non-traditional learners, you always hear about the vast majority of learners now are non-traditional. Again, it's about people getting different skills they need along the way from lifetime learning. Consumer preferences and alternative models, recognizing that both instructors and learners get the information they need when they need it. They're used to downloading apps. They're used to going to YouTube. They find the information when they want it. I've got 3 kids in various stages of K through 12, and I'm thrilled when they come and ask me for help on homework. But more often than not, they go to various apps. They go to various resources online to get help, and they learn things incredibly quickly in a way that wasn't dictated by their teachers. So that consumer preferences and alternative models is really dominating how people get information. Certainly learner-centric. I think we're going from a world of institution-centric to learner-centric. where learners have choices. They're using these consumer models. They expect to be treated as customers and to get what they need when they need it. Big data in the mainstream, certainly over the past 10 years or so, you can't pick up the Wall Street Journal or some sort of enterprise publication without hearing about big data and analytics in enterprise. And there's a huge opportunity in education to use data and use all of the data sources coming out of all of the learners and instructors' interactions with different systems to better outcomes. And then online and mobile everywhere. As we see our tens of millions of learners using Blackboard products, they're by several percentage points a month, they're moving from the desktop to mobile as their main source of access. So making sure we develop there first. So looking at these, this is how we start to think about our product line, looking towards the future, making sure we meet education in the future, not just sort of adding a feature at a time for a product. We also thought about what we're doing as a company and looking at our mission, and it's really to help you reimagine education. There is so much changing in education, and the traditional tools and traditional technologies that people have been using won't necessarily be the ones that will help reimagine education in the future. And how are we going to help do that? We're redesigning our product line, and we're redefining how we deliver our products. So let me first talk about how we're redesigning our solutions. We have all of these best-of-breed products, separate product lines, again, largely designed and built separately, but that really are incredibly feature-rich and offer a lot of quality that we're very proud of. However, we traditionally sold and developed them separately. So to start with, we're actually bundling them together. So from a purchase and functionality perspective, instead of saying, here's your 10 products, figure out how to use them together, we're bundling the products you need together, course delivery, community, content, mobile, all in terms of one offering. So we're not going out and nickel and diming institutions anymore. We're giving you what you need in bundles and creating those integrated workflows. Additionally, we're redefining how we bring those products together, really along 4 major categories. 1 is an expanded cloud strategy. 2 is making sure we have mobile-first development. 3 is making sure we're focusing deeply on the user experience. And 4, some things we're doing towards big data. I'm going to go into each of those. First of all, looking towards how technology is deployed, we have to look at how our technology, how we deliver it to you. Now, we have many of our products in the cloud. Collaborate, the product we're using now, Engage, Connect. Many of our products are native and cloud-based products. But our traditional product, Blackboard Learn, our traditional LMS, has really been a self-hosted product. You install it behind your own firewalls. You manage it yourself. You manage deployment cycles. You manage customization, security, and so forth, which is still neat. About half of our customers host their product themselves. We also, several years ago, started offering managed hosting. We have our own data centers. We can manage your hardware in our data centers. We can do the deployments. We can do the upgrades and manage that for you, offering the expertise of our team and our experience in deploying Learn. And again, about half of our institutions are there. However, a few months ago, we also developed a third deployment option, a SaaS deployment option, multi-tenant SaaS for Learn, such that when new features are available, they just come out. There are no deployment events, so it's always up to date. It's resilient. If something goes down in the system, it automatically switches over to another system, so much higher uptime in the cloud. And then offering flexibility, such that at peak loads, more machines scale up automatically. You don't have to have dedicated servers. So Bill's got a little screwy here, but elastic resilience and current. So the deployment's important, but what I'm really passionate about and what we spend a lot of time on is the user experience. When I first started at Blackboard, again, almost 2 years ago, and I've been at many different software companies. I was at Adobe, I was at Macromedia, I was at Autodesk, many different companies that are really focused on the user experience. And when I went out and visited many of you, some of the descriptors I heard of past versions of Learn included words like clunky. And that doesn't feel good as someone who loves building software, wants something that's elegant and user-focused and is intuitive. And those aren't words I heard a lot. For some of our products I did. But around our core products we didn't. So we're really looking at how we redefine the user experience of our products to focus on the people using the product. and looking at the learners. The tens of millions of people who are using our products every day are the learners, are the students. And the way they use the products is different than they used to. Previously they would go to an institution, they'd have a relationship with technology there and leave and go somewhere else and have a relationship with another technology. Now they attend multiple institutions and they want some consistency between those. They want what they're learning to hook in with employers. They want to listen to interact with their peers on what they're learning. They want to look at skills and competencies they take with them from institution to institution and job to job. They want to engage with mobile, and they want to produce and consume data in a way that is useful to them. So looking at the user experience for students, it has to be anytime, anywhere. It has to be flexible. It has to be about them. It has to be affordable, all of these words here. Much different than the past where they just engage with an enterprise system at an institution. Also looking at where they're going as they go from institution to institution. They have competency-based experiences. They might get traditional degrees, all leading to a job. Looking at these different stages along the student pathways and looking at their experiences and the technology they use along those pathways, which is really why we're focusing on learner centricity in our user experience. And changing the way we design. We used to spend a lot of time talking to IT and administration, and we still certainly do, but we have hired a whole team of designers that are focusing, and software developers that are focusing on the learners and the end user. This is one of our designers, Joanna, on the right here, in a dorm with a student, seeing how he interacts with his course material in his dorm room. Looking at all these different workflows that students have. This is one of our walls in one of our design centers in DC. Looking at all the different workflows. So instead of looking at features, we think about student workflows. And looking at tying them together into single user experiences. Additionally, looking at the end user and looking at the students and instructors, looking beyond traditional course delivery. So this is something we developed last summer called the Blackboard store. So that an instructor can specify course material they need right in the course, the student can buy it right within the LMS, and actually keep it with them when they leave the institution. So offering the convenience and recognizing that the process of buying course material is actually a core part of the course. It's not a different process than course delivery. Also looking at different models that support the learner pathways. We're a member of the Badge Alliance and defining open badging and the Open Badging Initiative and bringing that into the LMS so students can display their achievements in a different way than just degrees. Last spring, we purchased a company called MyEDU. MyEDU is a company that provides a free service to students to allow them to display their experiences and their competencies. When we bought the company, there were about 2 million students that were displaying their competencies. Right now there are many more. We integrated this MyEDU into the Core Learn product. And we have around 15,000 students signing up a day, displaying their competencies, displaying their experiences in a very non-threatening way. If you go to maybe a LinkedIn to put up your experiences, it really is about jobs and jobs you've had. This is much more about your learning experiences, your competencies, your jobs, your internships, and so forth. Students can choose to take these profiles and actually share them with employers as well. So this helps connect the student with what they've learned in school with actually getting a job. Another view into the MyEDU profile, allowing them to connect with employers. Also working on tools that are free. With this, to discover pathways, to discover jobs, to discover pathways to getting jobs. This is a product we came out with called Job Genie. Job Genie is an app. It's a free app on Android and on iOS. You can go and download it right now if you want. And we've had millions of students download this. This is where students can explore different jobs and different careers. They can explore using all sorts of government and employment data about different jobs, about the training that's needed for their jobs, and about the lifestyle those jobs support. So really helping students choose up front what they want to do so they can choose their majors and choose the competencies and choose how they need to get there. I'm going to pause for a moment just see that the question up here. If you have any questions, please do type it in with 3 question marks before, and I will stop and answer. Don't see anyone typing, so I will continue. What is LMS? LMS is a learning management system. Our core product, Learn, is the LMS, and I will actually show you the changes we're making there. Does that answer your question, Sarah? It's really about the course delivery. I will go into that. Perfect. Anyway, so Job Genie is again a free tool to let students to explore potential career paths. And this was made by the team that made MyEDU, recognizing doing really a lot of research into the students, looking at them, how they choose a college, how they choose different education, how they choose a major, how they choose a career, and realizing that a lot of anxiety and a process that provoked a lot of anxiety, and trying to demystify that to make them more successful in their career pathway. Also providing, and this is in design now, providing guided pathways so that students can look at where they want to get to and explore the different paths to get there in terms of the different courses they need, the different competencies they need, the different programs they need to connect with a certain job. Also, in terms of looking at end users, it's not just the student, it's the instructor. About 2 months ago, we came out with an app called BB Grader. This is an instructor-specific tablet app. Again, you can download this for free on the iPad. It connects to the latest version of Learn, our LMS, so that instructors can grade courses right there on their iPad in a coffee shop, wherever they might be. Shown here, you can grade on a rubric. So we're seeing a rubric here with formatting, organization, grammar. You can look at all the assignments that are turned in, grade on the rubric. Can also provide feedback right within the app. And it doesn't have to be text feedback. Right here it's typed in good job. Question was only iOS. It's not for Android for the BB Grader. That is correct for now. Android is in development. Great question. But right now it is on iOS. Looking at the feedback, so you can type in feedback, but also utilizing some of the aspects of the tablet itself, such that there's a microphone and a camera. So instead of typing feedback, you can actually record a video and have a feedback. The instructor could talk about what they liked about this, provide their feedback there, provide audio feedback. That will be available to the student when they look at the feedback and their assignments on Learn. Again, here's all the assignments that are passed in. You can grade right there and submit it right within the BB Grader program. Estimated delivery rollout for Android BB Grader. That's something I don't have a date on, and I can follow up on. That's a good question, Meg. I'm sorry I don't have an answer for you now, but I will follow up and figure out a way to get that back to you.
If you just send me that information, Mark, I can send it out to the registered users.
Marvelous. I'm happy to. Great question.
Thank you.
So right now we have a separate product called Mobile Learn, which we're actually retooling to provide an experience that is not only delightful, but also isn't just about Learn. We're looking to build a student app, and we'll actually be releasing the first version of this within the upcoming weeks and months, that offers features of Collaborate, of mobile, of MyEDU for students. So while BB Grader is focused on the instructor, really focusing on a unified experience for the student in the next version of our student app. And something that is just, feels and looks like a consumer product, that has animation, that goes from screen to screen in a delightful way. We're really doing a lot of testing with the students on this. So students can go, they can see all their courses, they can choose a course, go into the course outline, look at calendar events, integrate with the calendar. So really the next generation of what we've been doing on Mobile Learn to create an experience that's really going to be great and a modern design. Also integrating presence detection, some of the features of Collaborate so that you can have these the interactivity that you would need a separate app for before. Yes, can't wait for the new student app. We're excited about it as well. And again, bringing together features of Collaborate, of Learn, of MyEDU, of other products for an integrated experience is something we are absolutely thrilled with. Work on, this will be on many devices, and some platforms we actually don't support now will be supporting on this platform. should mention that in addition to these dedicated apps, everything we're doing in the design of Learn and Collaborate are focused on being responsive. So if you don't have the app, and I will show you a demonstration of our responsive design, everything that is available on the web version will be delightful and just work great and scale and change format the way it needs to on a mobile device. And I'll show you that. We also just developed and actually just released offline student access. We talked to some high schools and talked to colleges in some remote regions and some foreign regions where students would bring a device home and actually didn't have access and couldn't get access at home. So came up with a student access app whereby when you're online at the institution or online anywhere you might have access to your course material and to your Learn instance, you can see all your courses, you can sign in, find the courses you need, see the courses, download all the course material that you need for a certain period of time for the courses you choose so you can work on it offline, and then when you return to the university you can sync it back up again, or when you return online you can sync it back up. And again, that's important for regions where access is limited, internet access is limited. Also, we're working to Collaborate here, and it is marvelous to see that it is working wonderfully. We've actually done a lot of work in Collaborate over the past year, changing security to fend off DDoS attacks. We changed the entire database behind Collaborate to make it much more scalable and responsive after having some challenges last year. So continue to focus on making the back end incredibly reliable and scalable and providing the reliability you need. At the same time, recognizing that downloading a launcher, having Java, not having HD video are some serious limitations. So a lot of functionality in Collaborate which are great, and using it in a session like this is terrific, but looking at recognizing we need a next generation experience. So the next version of Collaborate doesn't require any download, doesn't require any plugins, hosts high definition multi-person video right within a browser. This is using the latest WebRTC technology that's supported in Chrome and other browsers. If you don't have those, it'll use Flash and it'll work in other browsers as well. And it is just high definition. It is awesome. This is actually something that is hard to demonstrate inside Collaborate, sharing Collaborate inside Collaborate. But this is something that we have in beta now. I was just on a session earlier today internally using it. That has really everything you need without the download and really a delightful experience, which I am thrilled to announce. And that will be, again, coming out commercially very shortly. Again, multi-point video right within the browser, something that you don't have in Collaborate today. So looking to offer all of the great functionality and interactivity and synchronous course room functionality that Collaborate is known for, but really offering world-class audio and video right in the browser. So again, thrilled with this. And those of you who use Collaborate a lot, I'm sure you'll be excited about as well. Additionally, offering integration and user interface within Collaborate that is seamless with Blackboard Learn. So that going into a course, going into a synchronous session, going into an instructor classroom, it won't feel like you're going from product to product. It will be workflows that just work and look and feel the same. Any questions about Collaborate? I see a couple comments here, and I'm thrilled with it as well. We do have some webinars we've done internally that show demos of this, so I will send that to you as well, so you can share those if you would like.
That'd be great. I think, yeah, I was the one who just wrote that in there. I saw a demo of it, and I think everybody in the community college system will be really excited.
Terrific. So what I'm also excited about, and I'm going to hop out to show it, is the next version of Learn. So while Learn is has over 15 years of functionality, it's actually not a 15-year-old product. We update the user interface. It's competitive with modern interfaces out there, and it's got all sorts of great functionality. But It's not leading edge. I think as we've added more and more features, we've made it more and more complicated. I think we've exposed a lot of features that really are focused on power users that that the 90% of end users out there, of teachers and learners, don't need. So instead of just kind of rearranging icons or making things look a little bit simpler, we decided we actually needed to put a whole new front end on top of Learn. But the beauty of the way we did it, if I do say so myself, is that it can sit alongside the existing interface as well. So when this new version of Learn comes out, which will very soon, it will support all existing classes in the existing interface, or you can migrate your existing classes to the new interface, or they can live side by side. So new classes can be in a new interface, existing classes that are working well can stay in the old interface. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Can you see my screen okay? Someone give me a check mark. Is it sharing? Yes, okay, great. Appreciate that. So this is a new Blackboard Learn. First I'm going to log in as the professor. So let me log in as Beth here. And I'll log in, and all this starts out with the recent activity. This looks across courses, organizations, calendar, and shows you everything that happened since your last here. I'll go ahead and collapse that. We have an experience here that is very simple. It's interactive. The navigation is always on the left. One thing we found before is we had navigation in many different places. Depending where you were in the product, navigation would come up in different areas and people didn't know where they were. So we made it really simple to keep the navigation on the left side here. Recent activity. You go to courses. You see all the different courses, fall. You can go to past semesters, previous semesters, different organizations to which you belong, the calendar, viewing either as a list or as a calendar area. When I go into various areas of the product, you'll see that hints come up, reminders. The first time you're in a product, it will, in a screen, it will show you things that are new. It will show you how to use things that you can get rid of and not show again if you so desire. So here we're saying we've added the class schedule to your calendar. Students will be able to see this, and so forth. Let me go back to courses here. Earlier I talked about responsive design. Responsive design is basically designing a web interface such that it works on any device. And doesn't just shrink the screen. You don't have to zoom in and out. But as you change the size of the screen, you'll see the elements actually change. So as I go to the left here to a format that's maybe more for an iPad or a tablet, it shrinks this down here. If I go even smaller to something that's maybe on a phone, it takes away the navigation to something that I can hide and show. And we've built this throughout the product, making sure that it is a responsive design that will work anywhere you are. I could just shrink and expand the browser all day. I love that. And now whenever I go to any website, I shrink the browser and I see if it's responsive, and I laud the company that does it. Let's go into a couple of the courses as the professor here. So again, it brings up a page in front of our navigation, so I can have this X here and I go back and I know exactly where I am. This is a course that's in the new design. Very simple. If I want to move things around, I can just take and drag them up and down. So easy to move information around. If I want to add something after the syllabus here, I can just click the plus mark and create something, upload something. I'll show how to do that a little more later. Easy to collapse things, but something that is just very intuitive, something that's easy to use. You want to add something, you add a plus. Anywhere you are, moving things around, adding things, making it really easy to do. Right within the course here also, obviously you have your calendar. You can look at the course schedule, so forth. It's the messages for the class. So all the messages the students in the class are sending you, you can bring up, respond, and so forth. Grade center for each class, going into assignments. And again, you always know where you are. You close this, you're back at the class, or you're back at your main navigation. So that's looking at a course that's already in the new user interface. Let's go into a course that is actually in the old interface. So if you have courses in the old interface and you want to see what the new course's experience is like, you can say, yes, go ahead and bring my old course in the new user interface. So I can preview it now. It'll show me how it brought everything over. If there are things that aren't compatible or don't work back and forth, it'll tell me what's changed. If I decide to move this class to new user experience, I can actually save it in a course file in the old user experience. So if for some reason I want to go back, I can load that back in. If I don't like how it looks, I can say no, take me back. If I want to provide a new course, I just have a course shell here that doesn't have any information. Again, trying to provide a lot of visual cues in terms of how you can do things right within the environment here. Many cues come up saying feel free to play, students won't see until you make it visible, access your course calendar and grades. I can go ahead and collapse this here. If you want to do something as simple as adding a syllabus, you grab it from your desktop, you drag it on, you add it, it will upload it, it'll parse it into the right format, and it'll put it right there. So if I want to add information below that, let's say I want to create a file folder assignment, I can do that. I can bring in a folder, a document, a link. I can add a recording. It'll take me into the recording mode from Collaborate, and I can add that right in there. So really linking these together. And again,
Mark?
Yes, of course.
Sorry, Mark, real quick, there was a question. Does the calendar have a printable version?
Yes, with the responsive design, not only are we optimizing the formatting for different screen sizes, but for print sizes as well. So yes, we are actually received that question a lot. That was one of the high requirements, and being able to print this is supported. And I don't know how I demo that right now, but yes, you can absolutely print it. Great question, and one I've heard before.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great question. If you want to upload something from your computer, we're trying to make it easy just to go ahead and drag it right in. Let me actually close out here, go back into the student view. So I'll go into Sarah. Where's our student? Again, starting out with a recent activity, seeing the new assignments, seeing the grades are posted. This is the integrated MyEDU profile. So students can go in here and add different competencies, add badges from their classes, have their portfolios here. This is something that they can actually bring with them. So it is integrated to learn here, but they can have their own account, and so they can take their whole profile, their portfolios, the tiles they have here, bring that with them wherever they go once they leave the institution to continue displaying their skills and competencies and connecting with employers. Again, on the courses side, very similar. You know, whether you're an instructor or student, you have the responsive design. Go into best class here that we saw before. Announcements will come up showing things that are due. And an experience that we're just trying to make delightful, simple, intuitive. And again, anywhere you are in the class, something that it doesn't just shrink it, but provides a responsive experience. So we want a great experience in the app or in the browser, wherever that browser might be. Going in a calendar, the different views, different events, list mode. You can add things. If you're on a device, you can obviously sync it up with your device calendar. Going into the gradebook. And again, you always know where you are. You can click right out. Organization, calendar, messages, grades, and so forth. I could spend all day on this. I love playing with it. You know, and frankly, I didn't love playing with the previous Learn. I could get things done in it. I could eventually figure it out. This is delightful. I love spending time in it. It is really fun, and that's what we're trying to do. Have something that is just a great experience where both instructors and learners want to be, where they can figure it out, where they can get things done in an environment that feels like a consumer tool. I'll hop out of that now.
Cheryl asked, are there any browser restrictions for using this version of Learn?
So it's a good question. One quick question. I want to bring back up the presentation I had before. There we go. Thank you. So I don't have off the top of my head the browser restrictions. We'll certainly support IE, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome. Can't tell you the versions, but all the major browsers with recent versions we're certainly testing on. In terms of in-browser the Collaborate experience, it will be supported on any browser with Flash or on recent versions of Chrome and soon to come IE and Safari that actually support WebRTC, which is the technology we're using internally. Safari and other Mac browsers, yes, absolutely. I was just using it on Chrome. It'll work on Safari. I can show you working on all of those. But yeah, it's testing on kind of all the modern browsers. Yeah, good question. In terms of specific versions, if that's something you want to know, I can get the list from our development group. But they don't want to force someone to use one or another browser. Yeah, great question. So again, I showed a bit of the demo here, the courses, recent activity, adding content by dragging in, adding content, creating new content, integrating meeting rooms to the new Collaborate experience right within Learn. So again, it won't feel like separate products. Still be able to buy and use them separately if you want to. Also looking at data. So as we had separate products before, kind of that were developed, as I said, by separate groups, each of them produced various different log files and different information that we didn't do a lot with. We have a product called Blackboard Analytics that builds a data warehouse. You can do all sorts of rich reporting on with information from our tools and SIS systems and the like, which is useful. But we thought, how can we, given that we're bringing all our systems together, capture all the information, capture what every student is doing to really get more insights into that in a way we didn't before. So basically that's what we're doing. We're using the IMS caliper standard to take information to really capture the data exhaust from all of our products and from any other products that will support the caliper standard to bring it into a big Hadoop database and do analysis on it to provide early indicators to advisors, to instructors, but also directly to students. And building that right within the LMS, realizing you shouldn't have to buy a separate tool to get an early indicator of how you're doing. So this is one of the reports that we're including in the next version of Learn. So the instructor says to Sarah, say, Sarah, after you're looking at the latest test, I was surprised by your performance. Is everything okay? Do you need any help? And Sarah might look at that and, whoops, I don't have the build here, unfortunately. This didn't come through. But basically, we're providing analytics directly to students. So the student could go and look at their performance and see how she's doing. And Sarah could have a report right on the screen that shows, okay, you certainly look at my grade. How is my grade compared to other students in the class? She could look at that. She could also look at how is my activity in the class compared to other students in the class. Or even better, how is my activity in the class, the time I'm spending in the class, the time I'm spending in Collaborate sessions, the time I'm actually accessing and assignments and other course material from the LMS, how much time am I spending there compared to other students, and not just any students, but students who are getting A's and B's. And provide a graph right there showing how her activity is correlating with other students and their activity and how that correlates to her course. We can set up automatic reminders basically to let the system automatically be an advisor to provide interventions to the students. And this is something we've actually been doing research around, showing that these interventions, just a simple showing the student how they're doing compared to other students and things they might do based on the activity of other students, can actually make a real statistical difference in their outcome. So using the data, using the analytics within the product, certainly in ways we do now for administration, for advising, but directly to the student to allow them to better their outcome. Very excited about that. So in terms of what we're doing at Blackboard, just kind of summing up some of this, is we're really thinking a lot of different things. We recognize the education experience is changing, and we want to help you reimagine that. We are completely redesigning our approach to products, looking at workflows, looking at integrated solutions instead of individual products that do individual things, and looking how we're redefining the teaching and learning environment, specifically focusing on be users, and most of those users are learners, and we need to make them successful and have an environment they want to be in. So with that, I will open up to questions. I see a question from Meg. Can you speak to how student learning outcomes reporting will function at the department and campus level and the new Learn? So all of the functionality we have in the old Learn will actually be there. So we sold a bunch of these things separately before, such as the outcomes module and retention module. All of those will be in the new interface and available to the same constituents as before. What we're really doing is expanding that in a more automated way, what I was showing here in terms of writing to students as well. So while you needed separate modules, separate reports, you needed to trigger things in a way before, we're looking at that to be more core part of the experience for the student and instructor. At the institutional level, at the campus level, at the advisor level, we'll certainly provide much more kind of custom functionality like we have now. Does that answer your question? Okay, if you want more information, please contact me, and I'm really happy to give you kind of more detail and actually put you in touch with the product managers who are working on that. I should also mention my email address is mark.strassman. I'm sorry, Meg. I should hook you up directly with our outcomes product manager, but feel free to email me, mark.strassman@blackboard.com, and I welcome any of you to, and I can hook you up specifically with the folks working on these. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns, feedback, ideas? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, as we're coming at,
I have a real quick question for you, Mark. What's the anticipated timeline that, when the new Learn platform will be available for testing?
So the way we're going to roll this out, that's a great question. Thank you. So it is, we're just starting to roll it out actually now over the next month or two. For testing. If it's something you would like access to, it will first be available on the cloud-based version of Learn. Early next year, we will have a general availability version. When we come out with the first version of this, the new interface actually won't have all the old functionality of the old interface. So there's a lot of, we looked at all of the data coming out of the product, we looked at what interfaces are being used, what features are being used, and we intentionally decided to make the first release of the new interface to be simplified, not necessarily support all of the functionality of the old interface. However, we'll be adding more and more functionality over time. So in Q1 of next year is where we're targeting for the new interface to be commercially available, and we'll be pushing more and more functionality to that. That said, the old interface will also be available side by side on the new interface. So all the functionality you would know and love or may not love as much will be there as well. So always offering a fallback as well. Training for faculty and students. Yes, we're building in, and another question, is there a place for instructors to leave suggestions about functions they would like to see? Absolutely. We're actually building in feedback mechanisms right within the product in a way we didn't before. Before we would have to send you to a separate site and log in somewhere and provide functionality, so that that will be provided right within the product as it should be. In terms of learning materials, yes, we're coming out with a bunch of different offerings. One is the online help within the product and all the hints and help. We will have hands-on instructional material that we can come on campus to use, and full webinars and other online instructional content about the new interface and how to use it side by side with the old interface. Officially, what is the new product called? New Learn? It is a great question. And a lot of, I don't know if something I can, well, I showed you the legal things. Anything can change. All bets are off here. So it will be Learn. It will be a version of Learn X. It won't be 9.1 or 9.2, that's for sure. It will be a new version of Learn, but it is still Learn, right? All of the old Learn, the existing, the classic Learn will be there, along with the new interface. So we're positioning it as a new version of Learn that has the classic interface as well as the new interface. Internally, we call the new interface Ultra. That may or may not get exposed. It started out as Ultra Simple Learn, but people started liking it Ultra. So it will be a new Learn. It'll be Learn something. Still making some final decisions there, supporting the classic interface and the new interface. Great question, Meg. Again, something we've been bandying around a lot.
And will this new version be available in all of the different options as far as self-hosting, managed hosting, all of that, or is it only web-based?
Another great question. So in terms of deployment options, it will first be available on our public SaaS. So our customers who are using our public SaaS Learn will get this very, very soon. And we will have a full trial site so anyone can use it and support free classes on the public side. We will be providing it for hosting, for managed hosted and self-hosting, but a little further out. It's still certainly within the year. But looking to get it managed hosting first and then package the whole thing up for our customers who self-host. So still looking at supporting all three options. That said, since we are really focusing on SaaS deployment, on kind of continuous innovation in pushing more and more innovation to the products, looking to support that on both the SaaS version and the hosted version. We'll be putting the hosted version actually on a cloud stack architecture so that we can push new functionality and have much more seamless deployments than we have now. And then we'll be able to package that up to send it on to customers who want to self-host and have it behind their firewall. How does this change user support for folks who are self-hosting? The deployment methods will be a little different, but we'll still be able to package this up, ship it, and have a self-hosted model supported in a similar way that it is now. Actually, hopefully a lot better. I hear from customers who are self-hosting about it being more complicated and less supported than it should be in terms of deployment events and upgrades and the like. And we're actually spending a lot of time making sure that is that's much more friendly than it is today. That's a great question.
Great. Well, I think while people are thinking of any final questions that they have, I'd like to say thank you so much, Mark, for joining us and giving us this little sneak preview into the new products that Blackboard is presenting.
I appreciate it. And specifically, Meg, you've got some great questions and some that I didn't answer so eloquently. So my email is on there. I would love to hear from you and set up a further meeting to get you some of your answers in more depth if you're interested. And obviously that invitation is open to all of you. I really do appreciate your time. Yeah, I hope you can tell I'm really excited about the direction we're heading and the things we're doing. I think it really is Blackboard heading in a different direction. We've always had a lot of functionality, but we haven't been great to interact with either as a company or as a product experience, and we're really focused on that. So I hope that comes out, and I really look forward to your feedback. Please do email me at any time to tell me what looks good, what looks bad. It's actually much better to tell me what's not working well, because those are things I can fix. And again, I thank you for your time.
Oh, excuse me. So real quick, folks, I'm going to go ahead and put up the survey for today's presentation. Just let us know how today's experience was. I'm going to go ahead and open that on a browser window for you. Should see that opening right now. If you would just give us some feedback, let us know. Also let us know if there's any additional topics that you'd like to have @ONE present in webinar format. We're always open to your suggestions and bringing you the information that you're interested in. So once again, thank you so much, Mark, for being with us. Anybody else, if you have any other questions, please feel free to go ahead and type those in the chat window. We'll be online for a few more minutes. And if you have any questions about @ONE and the webinars or any of the other services that @ONE provides, please feel free to check us out on our website at onefortraining.org.